Welcome to Softcore Wellness. I'm Savannah.
And I'm Chelsea. This is a space to explore without pressure, perfectionism, or performance.
Softness, strength, and being human.
That's the vibe.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2026, we made it.
Seriously, we made it.
2025 was a wild ride. Welcome to our reset season episode. This is our first episode.
We've been talking about it for so long.
So
I'm so
long.
excited that we're sitting here doing it right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
let's talk about the journey of 2025 to get to this couch right
definitely.
now. Here.
I am so grateful for all of the community, wellness, friends, new family, all of the things that 2025 has brought me. I took a very vulnerable step of getting back into the fitness scene in the beginning of 2025 here in Atlanta. It's the first time I've really dove into it in this city, and I have been so blessed. I'm so grateful for the strong, powerful men and women that have been so inspiring, that really want everyone to be successful, that believed in me and have given me the opportunities to get here even. And I'm so grateful for all of the students that I've gotten to connect with, all of the different modalities that I've learned this year. I've added 2 different ones under my belt.
So busy.
I've been so busy, but it's been so rewarding. I'm so grateful for all of those opportunities and the growth and the momentum that 2025 has built. And I'm so excited to go into 2026 with you and, continuing to grow the space as Softcore Wellness grows. And as we, can grow our community and connect with more people around us and inspire others and continue to be inspired too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
It's been a journey. I am going through, I think, like a major shift with my career and life purpose and what I'm here to do and how and why. And I was so lucky late 24, early 25 to find such a beautiful community at Vesta Fitboxing.
Yeah.
They welcomed me in first as a member with open arms, and it is truly a community. I've worked out at a million different gyms before where you go in, you do what you do, and you leave. But here I really developed community and friendships and relationships and networking. That's where we met.
Yeah.
And where the seeds for this idea got planted. And I'm so grateful for that community and exposure. And then from there, it's just kind of exploded with ideas and a beautiful support network who believes in our vision. Ty at Union Fit Hub saw what we wanted to create and said, let me help you however I can.
Yeah.
And that's been an amazing step as well, and just connections with the folks that we have who are here videoing us today. Simran at Focal Point and her team.
Yeah.
And just being able to build this beautiful network to create this thing that we're making here today. So
I love it.
2025 was the web.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So we wanted to touch on reset season. It's January 2026. Everyone's setting their resolutions. We're getting in the gym. We're changing our diets. We're doing all of these things that actually probably aren't very soft for our lifestyles and our bodies.
And maybe aren't always sustainable.
Exactly. So we wanted to just open and have a nice discussion about our experiences with reset season, New Year's resolutions, and how we can soften in that space and make some changes that are more sustainable and maybe reframe the whole thing.
And really focusing on what we believe wellness means, which is mind, body, spirit in balance as a whole, not just focusing on one part or the other and going gung-ho into that and neglecting the rest of you.
Absolutely. Having that self-compassion day to day, knowing that something that works for me isn't going to work for Chelsea, and something that works for me yesterday may not work for me today, and being able to soften and show yourself grace and, continue to try new things, push through some discomfort, and also have the compassion during the whole process and coming at things with curiosity is so important. And that's kind of like our vision, is to create this space for our community where, we're trying things, we're going out there, we're going to report back, we're sharing our experiences. We host live events to really connect with y'all. to share these experiences because we learn so much from each other. We empower each other so much. And I think that's what it's all about.
I agree.
Yeah.
So, Savannah, New Year's resolutions, love or hate?
I hate them. I hate them so much. I do have some like New Year's like rituals or practices that I have.
I think ours are really similar.
Yeah, but I don't like New Year's resolutions. They feel so rigid. I don't feel like they set you up for like success. I'm not the biggest fan. I actually, before doing some little research for this episode, I looked up the history of New Year's resolutions. So I want to jump into like a quick little recap of that.
Yes.
So I learned that New Year's resolutions actually started in ancient Mesopotamia. I am reading this from the internet. I am not taking credit for any of this.
We're not memorizing.
Yeah, I am not memorizing these facts. But it says the earliest known New Year's resolutions come from the Babylonians. And they actually used to happen in March because their calendar went through the seasons of harvest and planting and those natural cycles. And so really it was about the people making promises to their gods about repaying any debts and returning any borrowed items and really putting themselves in good favor for a prosperous year ahead with the harvest and sustainability of, you know, their culture and society. They weren't really moral and social obligations like we see now.
Right.
And then in ancient Rome, it shifted to being in January versus March because January is named after their god Janus, which is a two-faced god of beginnings and transitions. So holding a space for both looking forward and backward in that reflective space. And this was where they also offered sacrifices to this god in hopes of, you know, cultivating good energy for the year to come. And then through medieval times, the 18th and 19th century, it's become a lot more individualized and secular to have, you know, self-discipline and character themed goals and different lifestyle changes and stuff like that. And, you know, we're really focused on personal and wellness goals, financial goals, resets, that kind of thing. So that's kind of like a little bit of the big picture of how we got to where we were today, which I think is super interesting.
I love so much that the history starts with the Mesopotamians and the calendar starting in March. So a big part of like my personal mental and spiritual practices revolve around things like astrology and more earth-based religions, and that is the start of the year for a lot of people.
Aries season, start of the year.
Yes, exactly. So that like vernal spring equinox time, when you have more sunlight, when you have more energy, when everything is like coming back to life, is a really great time to set goals and intentions, and like you have the energy of the earth and the planets backing you in that. If you buy into that and believe that, it's okay if you don't. I personally just think January is a really hard time to set certain types of goals. It's so dark. Depending on where you live, it's really cold. If we have any people from the Southern Hemisphere, I am so sorry. It is not so dark there. I know you have a lot of light and warmth right now, but I don't think we've expanded that far yet.
Yeah.
So in the US especially, it's darker, it's colder. You don't want to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym. And like, if you have that amazing, strong, powerful willpower to get up in the cold dead of winter and go to the gym or do the things that you set your mind to, like that is incredible, but you probably have that willpower all year round. It probably doesn't show up just in January for you. So no poo-pooing anyone who does set those goals and they work. Amazing. I want to drink the Kool-Aid you're drinking. But don't be hard on yourself if you're not that person. And January is a quieter time for you.
And I think we're just coming down from the chaos of the holidays, right? Like in the US, we've got two mainstream holidays that are really focused on feast food, families, desserts. You've got the stress, all of the extra activities, whether you're going to see the Nutcracker at the ballet, you're going to do all of these things. It's like this very chaotic somewhat could be grounding. You ground in your family, you do have a little bit more rest, but it just depends kind of what your lifestyle looks
Right.
like.
Your family.
Yeah, in your family, exactly. But for me, it's like it's very chaotic. We're wrapping up the year. The work can be stressful. You know, not every company shuts down 2 weeks before the end of the year, and
Right.
sometimes people like to go rogue at the end of the year. It can be very mentally taxing for a lot of people. It can be a very hard time of year,
Yeah.
whether you've had familial losses, any kind of addiction issues. I mean, there's just a lot. Financial stresses, especially with the pressure to gift give, all of those things. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I think, you know, coming into January, setting really hard expectations of I'm going to make these massive changes.
I'm going to turn my whole life around.
Yeah. I mean, it's not setting you up for success. I think it's something that, you know, to soften with, it's how do we set bite-sized goals, right? So for me, I like to pick a word of the year.
Me too. I do a word and a color.
Okay, that's so cool. Tell me more about the color. I've never heard of that.
I mean, I think for me, I did pick it up from somewhere, probably Yoga Girl. She does a really cool podcast where she helps you guide you through like a reflection of the previous year. And then she does a second podcast that helps you set up for the coming year. And she does a word, she does a color, she might do something else. For me, when I envision the color, it's more related to the chakra system. So if I'm choosing green or blue or purple or red, a lot of times I choose red because my root chakra isn't always as aligned as I would like it to be.
Yeah.
And that's really focusing on security and stability and safety in your body and in your home and in your spaces. And so I like to choose a color in that range and just sort of try to focus my energy towards that.
I love that.
To come. Yeah.
That's so cool. Amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll plug in the captions too, like the symbolism of certain colors and things like that. And if someone wants to take that on as a new practice for them, I think that would be really fun.
It's a fun one.
Yeah. But I love the words too. I think that's really great. I've been doing this for probably close to 10 years now, where every New Year's Eve, regardless of the plans, I will do like a year ahead tarot spread. And my relationship with tarot cards have ebbed and flowed over the last decade or so. But I still, like, I don't read as often for myself as I used to, whereas I was pulling them daily or weekly or reading for others. That's very rare that I do that nowadays. It happens sometimes and it's a treat. I love being able to energetically share the space. But every New Year's Eve, I pull a card theme for the year to go with my word. And then I pull one for every month.
Do you choose your word before or after you see that card?
I've always chosen it before, but maybe we'll switch it up this year.
I just wondered if that like helped inspire you for your word or.
Yeah, no, I usually choose it before. I do like a little meditation, which I'm horrible at meditating, but I do sit with myself and try to reflect on the energy that I want to bring in to the following year and what I'm going to cultivate and try to stay focused on. So, but then I pull a card for every month. And then I've done this on like a physical calendar, like old school, write it out on paper. I'm switching to doing everything in my phone, becoming a full digital girly. But I put in reminders where it's like every month I put like I do it all New Year's Eve. I'm prepping for the whole year ahead. I put what that card is, what that means to me, what are like 3 or 4 words or phrases so that I can stay focused. And then, you know, periodically journaling throughout each month to kind of reflect on that, setting intentions like at the new moon at the end or the full moon at the end of each month going into the next cycle and the next month. Really helps to keep me reflective and in tune, right? And I think also some people get put off at tarot cards and think that it's like not good or scary. For me, they're just little mirrors, right? It's like it's a reflection practice. It's getting you to think and become more self-aware, those kinds of things. It's not necessarily telling the future in any way. Like you have the power to change your future at any moment, which is why we have reset season. There we go, right?
Exactly.
Like that's part of it. But yeah, just really having those self-reflective moments and self-awareness.
Yeah, I do that practice too. I love it so much. I'm not as, I don't know exactly the word I want to use, but like I don't always get it done on New Year's Eve. I don't always get it done before New Year's Eve. As long as I do it in January, I feel pretty good about it. And I do similar though, like I write a little bit about the card description and what it makes me think of. And then I leave space on all those pages so that when that month ends, I can look back and say like, oh, that was the card I drew for February. Now that it's March, like what did I experience in February that
Mhm.
relates to this card? And then I just
Yes.
sort of debrief. And then when I do my end of year reflection, I have all of those notes from the year before where
I
I can
love
look
that.
through and be like, oh, I forgot that happened. Or
Mhm.
yeah, I see how all of that was related. And it's really interesting. Some years, like 2020, all the cards were like really scary that I drew at the beginning of 2020 before we knew anything. And I was like,
Mhm.
what is going to happen in my
Yeah.
life? And then it ended up being in alignment with like global things and
The
national
collective.
things that were
Yeah.
happening in the world. And I'm like, I just drew the tarot for the world. Like it was so crazy, but I don't know, looking back and reflecting on it, it was really neat.
Yeah, I love that. That's so cool.
Hmm.
Amazing. What an empowering practice. And I really like the whole recapping. And so, in the same breath, that like reflection
Hmm.
while we're having a reset at any point in time. Because I think sometimes when it's time for reset season, we're kind of focused on the negative. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
I want to change my diet.
Yeah.
I want to work out more. I want to, whatever it is to you.
Hmm.
And it's coming from like maybe a feeling of imperfection or shame. And I think being able to reflect on all of the successes and
Yeah.
remind yourself of like, wow, like victories, small or large, are so
Hmm.
important to focus on, and feeling empowered by the progress that you've had,
Yeah.
because sometimes we miss the forest for the trees and we get
Hmm.
tunnel vision. And when we really zoom out, it's like, wow, your life really has changed.
Right. Well, that's a good point too about like the time of year. We talked about at the beginning how December and the end of November through the end of the year can be so chaotic and so busy. And so if you're sitting down to set
Mm-hmm.
your intentions and
Mm-hmm.
resolutions and things for the next year ahead and you're in that like chaos
Mm-hmm.
energy and not
Mm-hmm.
thinking about everything that came before that year,
Yeah.
you might be setting yourself up for like not the best resolutions or like not
Totally.
the best mind frame to
Yeah.
set them because you're stuck in that like fight or flight, needing some decompression before.
Definitely.
So I like the reflection practice because it
Yeah.
helps you sort of get, like you said, you see the whole year, you
Mm-hmm.
see all your successes. It's not just this like crazy moment at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's really the whole
Definitely.
picture.
And I think honoring the ebbs and flows is also very important too in that, because things do ebb and flow. It's not always linear. You take 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when, making those resolutions or setting those goals, I think that's super important too. Obviously, the first quarter of the year is the most insane and intense in the wellness fitness industry
Mm-hmm.
because everyone is setting those resolutions. And
Yeah.
I think we should take a second to talk about, if that is you and that's the time of the year that inspires you
Mm-hmm.
to have a reset, I love that. I
Yeah.
fully, fully support it. I
Yeah.
think that is fantastic. Whatever inspires you to make positive changes in your
Mm-hmm.
life, I don't care what it, I mean, that's great. I'm
Yeah.
here for it, here to
We're
support
definitely
you.
not policing reset time.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the main point we want to make is any time is a good time for a reset
Yes.
if you're starting from a good foundation.
Definitely. And say that your goal is to be like, I want to be more active and move my body more.
Mhm.
I think people come in again with such a hardcore stance of, I'm going to work out 5-6 days a week. And if you're coming from a practice that you're not moving your body at all and that's your
Mhm.
lifestyle, that is not sustainable. You're
And
going to
it's
burn.
traumatizing to your body.
Yes,
Like that's
it's
too much too soon.
absolutely. And so I think, having an open dialogue about,
Mhm.
if that is the time you choose to reset and it is about like a physical modality and that's one of your goals, really being gentle on yourself, starting with 1-2 days a week,
Mhm.
really listening to the body, holding space for rest. I've experienced this in my own way because I
Yeah.
I have had a history of like trying such extremes,
Mhm.
and softening is a very active practice that I have and have to actively work on. But your body needs the rest, right? Like there have
Mhm.
been times where I was doing, 2 fitness classes a day, 4 days in a row, 5 days in a row, and like my body was in so much pain and so inflamed. it's like I'm not getting those benefits of having the rest days in between for my body to rebuild the muscles, to sleep and rest, hydrating, all of those things that is a part of that. So really, I want to empower our community in those resets, but also reframe that like the soft, slow build is going to be that more sustainable lifestyle habit setting.
Exactly.
You know, because ideally you do bring those resets and those habits long term. Like, wouldn't it be amazing to look back in December when you're reflecting and be like, wow, I stayed active and moved my body for the whole year, knowing that it's going to be intense sometimes and maybe you take a couple weeks off and it does ebb and flow. But it's a lot more sustainable, holistic view.
Yeah.
And change.
Well, and too, from a psychological standpoint, the more you have goals that you actually meet, the easier it will be to continue to show up for yourself. So if you start off day one with a goal that's at 100, and then you fail, it's easy to be like, just not good at this, moving on, I'm gonna do whatever. But if you set a goal that's like, I just need to walk twice a week, or I just need to put my workout outfit on the chair the night before and not actually even work out. Just like for 1 week, be like, can I set out the things I would need to actually do a workout?
I love that.
And then next week, I'm going to see if I'll go.
Yeah.
Like just little goals to be like, I did that. I set out my outfit every single night this week. Next week, I'm going to feel so much more comfortable putting it on in the morning and actually going.
I love that. I think that's a great exercise of trust building with yourself, trust building with your body. And I think anybody with a history of trauma, which we're all traumatized to some degree, right? Like, let's be honest, we live in a very intense time and life is not easy. But I think that practice of trust building is so important to feel empowered and safe in trying new things. Because workouts, especially where you're, you know, pushing your body, they're so vulnerable. Going to a new gym, going to a new space, it's vulnerable. So having that trust building practice with yourself, with your mind, with your body is a fantastic suggestion. I love that.
Yeah, I think it just makes it so much easier. My mom calls them, I think, micro movements.
Yeah.
It's not actually like movement of your body, but like what is one tiny thing I can do to get me closer to my actual goal? And maybe those are your goals in the beginning if you're starting something like brand new, fresh. And something else we talked about, instead of setting goals that are like taking things away, how can you set goals that like shift the balance? So like you're adding something else that may diminish the thing you want to get rid of without being like, I can never do this or have this again. So we have tons of examples of what those look like, but what are some of your favorites?
Yeah.
Adding more instead of.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. The reframe is so important from a psychological standpoint. Again, I've done really extreme diets. I was a raw vegan for like a month and a half. And so that is, for anyone that doesn't know, not heating your food over, it's 116 or 118 degrees.
Mostly raw fruits and veggies.
Mostly raw fruits and veggies. The food dehydrator was my favorite tool because you could get it to that temperature so things could be warm, but you're not having piping hot anything unless it's tea and stuff. But with that, I had an experience where I went to a family lunch at my parents' house and there was literally, and I don't know what it was for there to be nothing that I could eat.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's
Which
crazy.
it is kind of wild. Yeah. It was very restrictive. So I ended up having a snack pack of raw almonds. And that was just so rigid.
I'm imagining the hanger. I love you, but I know you well enough now. I'm like, I don't know.
No, when I don't eat.
How people survived around
I'm
you.
a monster. Exactly. My mom is always just like, you've got to keep snacks with you at all times. I am like the gremlin that like when you get it wet or feed it after dark, right? Whatever it is. Yeah. It's like after if I'm midnight. Not fed, I become a monster until I eat a snack.
Something.
But
not
it was
just a pack of almonds.
Right. But I like the diet and my mindset was so rigid that it was like, oh, I can't eat. I can't
Yeah.
That it was like, instead it should be focusing on like, oh, I'm introducing all of these things. So as I shifted off of that like very rigid diet, it's more of like, oh, I might not be eating meat, but I'm really exploring with legumes
Mhm.
and beans and finding protein in grains and
Mhm.
things like that. Or another great example is I think the forever you mentioned. It's like
Yeah.
very daunting if you're like, I'm not having this
Yeah.
forever and ever
Ever.
and
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
I've gone through phases where alcohol doesn't serve me.
Mhm.
And so I won't drink, whether it's like I don't drink for 3 months, I don't drink for 3 years is the
Mhm.
longest that I've gone.
Yeah.
And so I think that in that exercise or practice, it is taking one day at a time.
Mhm.
It's not having the daunting thought of, oh, I'm never drinking alcohol again. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not drinking alcohol today.
Mhm.
And then the next day it's like, oh, another day.
Mhm.
I'm not drinking alcohol. And just really, I think it's a practice of being present.
Yeah.
It's being very present in the moment, intentional in what you're doing, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And so I think reframing that is also super important because going into a new year, if you're like, oh my gosh, I have to work out every single day,
Mhm.
or I have to make sure that I'm eating this way, or
Mhm.
even reading books.
Right.
I set a goal of reading a certain amount of books this year. I didn't even make it to a third of the goal because I was so busy working on other things.
Yeah.
And so it's just really being able to soften and pivot and not have such a rigid expectation for yourself.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I mean, similar, I think, reframing things to be positive, adding more of whatever,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to foods. I like to use the like crowding out theory.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So when you're trying to cut out certain foods or eat less of certain foods or eat more healthy things, the point is you add more of the healthy food to your plate and then you'll have less space for the things that are less desirable to you right now. So if that's cookies, eat a salad first. And then in theory, you'll eat less cookies. Nobody's saying don't eat cookies because
Yeah.
cookies are wonderful and you should eat
Yes.
cookies if you love them.
Absolutely.
But if you are eating 50 cookies a day and only want to eat 20, swap that for, vegetables
Anything
or
else?
fruit
Yeah.
or protein or whatever it is that you're trying to increase. So like just saying I'm going to cut down cookies is hard. I'm going to cut down drinking or cut down smoking or whatever. Just like,
Mhm.
again, that negative limitation mindset is so much more challenging than to say, all right, every time I want to smoke, I'm going to do this instead. And if I still want to smoke after, whatever.
Mhm.
But in theory, hopefully you'll want to do it less.
Mhm.
I mean, I think same with like, I want to watch less TV and move my
Mhm.
body more.
Totally.
Great. So when you get home from work, set aside an hour every day. You go for a walk through your neighborhood, and it could
Mhm.
be something like if a walk is hard for you, listen to a podcast, listen to a book, listen to this podcast. Listen to
Yeah.
your favorite music or go on a color walk where you're sort of walking through your neighborhood, identifying all the things that are purple just to like keep you present and in the moment. And then that's an hour less of TV you're watching when you get home from work. So it's just ways to add different things into your lifestyle. So you're doing more in the direction
Yeah.
that you want to go without feeling like you're limiting yourself. Like
Mhm.
I can still watch TV tonight, but I went on my walk first.
Yes.
And then you're going to feel better about.
I love that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think something that you said was inspiring about the color walks. And I think that's a
Mhm.
nice like movement, mental meditation. It reminds me of like I Spy when
Mhm.
you're a kid, right? Or you're driving the car and you're playing an I Spy game with your siblings or your parents or your cousins or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think there's that element of like playfulness,
Mhm.
that childlike wonder that we can lose as adults. And I
Yeah.
think, intentionally bringing that back in little ways, like playing a little game on your walk of like, let me find these things and really truly finding the beauty in certain little things where you
Mhm.
literally maybe stop and smell the roses on your
Mhm.
walk, because I think life and work and all of these things can be so serious.
Yeah.
And so I think really igniting and staying playful, I think is so important. And, I say it in most of my classes that I
Mhm.
teach, whether it's yoga, hip Pilates, P-Volve. It's like, we're here to have fun. We're
Mhm.
moving our bodies. I mean, safety is important, but it's not that serious, right? Like if
Yeah.
you fall out of your yoga pose
Mhm.
or something like that, like it's fine. Laugh it off. I do it when I'm teaching. I think it's authentic and, life can be so serious with work and all of the things that we miss that little sparkle that I think is important to try to maintain.
Yeah.
And so I'd love if you have any other suggestions that people might have to practice to keep that little childlike exercise throughout their day-to-day or weekly or things like that?
Absolutely. So something you'll learn about me if you don't know me already. I live my entire life to basically support my inner 12 to 14-year-old. So most decisions I'm making are like, what would she want? What would she choose? What
I
would she
love
want to
that.
have? So I always have like a mini container of bubbles in my bag, and I buy them in bulk on
Cute.
a website I won't name.
We'll do a
Uh,
cute little giveaway of some
right?
bubbles.
Everybody gets bubbles.
Yes.
And I keep multiple in my purse because if I'm out somewhere, I'm just outside, I'm waiting in a line, I blow bubbles and people are like instant magic on every adult's face around me. And they're like, oh my God, bubbles. I haven't blown bubbles in so long. And I've got an extra one and I hand them out. A, it's a great way to make friends. But B,
Yes.
like the joy it brings, like a grouchy adult in a line outside in the heat in Georgia, in the cold in Georgia.
Yeah.
Whenever anything is happening. Some places don't want you to blow them inside, so like just warning. But
Yeah,
did get in
slipping
trouble
hazard.
at MJQ blowing my bubbles inside one time, but they didn't kick me out. Don't worry. But just like the whim, like bubbles are magic. But anything like if you come into my apartment, and I mean Savannah's not surprised by this, but it's very pink.
Yeah.
Pink was a new color expression for me in the last few years because I rejected it so hard as a kid, and now I'm like, wait, pink is lovely. And fun and light and soft.
Yeah.
And it just brings my space so much peace. I also have like comfy things around my house. Like it is not a set for a photo shoot. Like it is my sacred space where I can have fun and be comfortable. I have squishmallows on my couch because they are really cozy to snuggle up with. I literally have a weighted pizza pillow on my couch. Like I am looking for fun and whimsy everywhere I go and trying to incorporate that into everything I'm doing because it just makes life better.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who we are going to have on the podcast soon and I are constantly sending memes back and forth about like I don't know who I'm going to be tomorrow, but I know she's going to be weirder. And like we are leaning hard into like our weirdest selves.
I love
that's
that.
given us so much freedom to try new things and to make changes and not take things so seriously. And we're achieving our goals more than ever in the past because we're releasing, we're letting go of control and power.
That's beautiful.
And having more fun with life. As far as I know, I'm only here once. So I'm going to have a good time.
I love it. That's amazing. You mentioned something that I want to circle back to, just about like your space being sacred. And I totally resonate with that. It is my sacred space. It's like the art I have on the wall. It's all very intentional. But I think that maybe that is a good little thing that we can touch on because we've talked about setting, exercise goals. It's like the most common, dietary things, lifestyle changes. But how do we use this reset season, whether it's you're resetting at the new year, you're resetting in the summertime, like whatever, with the sacred space, with the home and that kind of thing.
That's a great one. I love that, especially for me. I know there's people that exist in the world who love to clean. I'm not one of them.
Literally.
So sometimes some of the goals that I have are just like on Mondays, I will clean the counters in my bathroom. And like, I don't give myself any more pressure to do anything more cleaning wise than that.
Yeah.
Or like on Thursdays, I'll run the vacuum.
I love that.
So I think those are really good goals. I think having good smells and good textures.
Definitely.
And just being more intentional about making your space as safe and sacred and cozy as possible. What other things do you do in your space?
Well, I like to nap a lot. So creating the cozy space is super important to me, and allowing myself the rest time is important to me. One thing about my little sacred space, and also in tandem with honoring your inner child, is I have a little girl's pink tent in my room.
I've seen it. It's so cute.
It's so cute. And it was given to me by a friend. And it's this little pink tent, and like I strung lights up in it. It's got a cute little like tulle netting that comes down with pearls. It's got this cute little neon sign. All the pillows are pink. I got this big long cushion that folds out into a bed if you want. And it's like my little nap nook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so nice to like feel safe and cozy in that tiny tent, and my cat Kiwi will come snuggle with me in there.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, it's creating the cozy spaces where you can release and let it all go. You can have, your no makeup look. You're in your sweats. Your hair is thrown up. We're not performing for anyone.
Right.
We are resting. We're binge watching Harry Potter. We're reading a book.
Yeah.
We're snuggling with our fur babies.
Right.
The coziness is, the fuzzy pillows. I'm a big fan of like faux fur. So like you said, the textures, right? We've got a crushed velvet. We've got the fuzzy, like fluffy texture. We've got a fuzzy blanket. All of those things to really like nest. Those really help with resetting my nervous system and helping me feel safe in my body. So apart from my friend that we got the tent together, no one's really sat with me in that tent. It is my space with my cat, of course. And so I think creating that space that is just for you is okay. And, even if you have a spouse, children, whatever, I think you have permission from us, which you don't need, but giving yourself permission to have a little moment, have a little space, have a something, whether it's an item or whatever, just for you. Is really impactful.
I love that. You mentioned something too about like nervous system and relaxing. And there's something to be said about having spaces and sounds and certain smells that you can train your body to know, now we can release, now we can relax. So in my house, I have like the Sonos speakers throughout the different rooms. And in my bedroom, I'm always playing like a quiet thunderstorm.
Oh my God, I love that.
It helps my dog not hear every little sound like out in the world. So that's how it started. But now every day when I go into my bedroom and lay down at night to go to bed, like that sound like instantly is like, we're in bed now. Now we relax. And I have that playing in the background. So you can do that with sounds, with scents.
I love that.
With textures. To just signal to your body that now you are safe. Now you can be resting. So I love that you have that in your space. I have that with sounds.
Same. I love that. Do you have an app that you use, or like a YouTube channel, or how do you pull this thunderstorm?
There are apps. There's like sound machine apps. So when I travel, I have a slightly different thunderstorm that I play. So like I have that. But it's just one that I found that I like that loops without having big like stops. Because some of them loop and you can tell.
There's a hard reset, which your brain is listening. And I'm a light sleeper. So anything like that, it like wakes me up. It's disruptive.
Out of a dead sleep.
Totally.
So this one just was a good one that I found. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. I think it's like Blue Heights Loopable Rain or something if you're looking for it.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the one that's just worked. And I think it works on my dog too. Like she knows we're going in there. It's quiet. It's that's playing in the background. And
totally. You're Pavloving yourself.
To sleep.
In a good way.
Not to drool.
But I mean, exactly.
I mean, probably both, to be honest.
But that is like the psychological like science behind it too, right? You are training your brain. You're training your body to associate certain scents and sounds and textures with relaxation and feeling safe, and allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in, do the deep breathing, really be present.
But I love this idea of like, these can be resolutions. These can be, these are great places and spaces to have a reset moment.
Yes.
But also like, it doesn't have to be a diet change, a physical exercise change. It can be, how do I create more spaces in my home where I feel safe and comforted and can relax. It could also be, things that you start to keep in your car that make life easier. Again, just leaning into that more. Like, how do I make my life better? How do I make my life more joyful? How do I make things easier and more efficient for myself so that I can achieve the bigger goals that I have? I think the pizza's here.
Our pizza's here. Well, my stomach is full of pizza. My brain is refreshed. I'm ready to continue our conversation. Where were we?
Well, I think we were wrapping up talking about nervous system and having spaces in your home to reset and scents and sounds and textures
That's right.
being a trigger for decompression and relaxation. And so I think having those places to reset sort of ties into when are resets appropriate. And for me, I think a reset can happen at any time. I know we called this episode Reset Season, but I think any moment is a moment to reset, whether that's breathing, which you talk about all the time, or, you know, I ate something I didn't, like I'm trying to eat less of, and now I ate 50 cookies.
Yeah, definitely.
Call back. And so like my next bite, my next meal is my opportunity to reset. My next day of workouts is my opportunity to reset.
Yeah.
Literally the next moment is a place for me to reframe my mind, reground, whatever I need to do to feel back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. I second that. Having any opportunity to reset, like I mentioned earlier, it's like it can be in the middle of July, whatever inspires you, go for it. For maybe a medium softcore reset. But I think being present and mindful that every moment can be a reset is so important. We work really stressful jobs, and you know, sometimes I'll get off of a really stressful meeting and I need to like stand up, shake out all my limbs, do some like somatic like really like get it out, like, or just like a frustration.
I was just gonna say, turn on your favorite like rage song.
Yeah, move the energy, reset so it doesn't sour my day. And you know, sometimes I have an emotional day where I'm like, okay, I'm allowing myself a whole day. That is my reset the whole day. And then I'm on for the next one. But I think having those micro resets and softening in those moments. And I think it's a practice of self-awareness. I think that's a skill that we grow into, right? Like that is not something that happens overnight. It's something you've got to practice. Tuning into those things as you feel them, becoming aware of them, and then having those adjustments, but having the compassion to do that moment to moment, day to day, week by week.
I really like that you mentioned, like, if I need an emotional day, I take it. I think for me, the way I'm built energetically, I want to immediately problem solve. What are the next 5 steps? What do I need to do? How am I going to fix this? And I don't take that time. I don't take the pause. I don't feel the feels. I don't like take a moment to decompress before I start the planning. So I'm planning from a place of high cortisol, adrenaline, high stress hormones, which is not like the best frame of mind to be doing those things. So I like also the concept of like taking a pause, finding a way to decompress or dissociate a little bit. Dissociation's not always healthy. We're not medical experts, but sometimes, check out, watch Harry Potter, read a silly book.
Totally.
Go have dinner with a friend and not talk about work. Like whatever you need to do to just like not be in that and step away and then come back and
definitely. And I think that that's so important because, you know, this wasn't something, it is something that I'm still working on. It wasn't something that happened overnight for me. Like the practice of this moment to moment kind of thing and little resets and really honoring when you're feeling like the more negative, heavier side of the human experience. But it's so important because I feel like I've grown up with wanting to be so perfect all the time, or like having this ideal of what that means, and like always being positive and always being peppy. And it's very vulnerable and dangerous for someone to see that like I'm upset or I'm having a bad day and then something is wrong with me, and this whole like
or Savannah's dark side.
Exactly. This like negative self-talk and shame about it. And I think that, you know, a couple of years ago, I went through such dramatic life changes with a sibling passing away and getting divorced and moving across the country and all of these things that, one, it was obviously so humbling. But also it showed me how strong that I was, and finding strength in that really deep, painful grief work was so empowering. That it really allowed me to practice what I call death work and impermanence. And knowing that both the positives and the negatives and the moment and the meeting and the discomfort and this extreme euphoria is fleeting. It is just moment by moment, and practice being present. So having those little resets and creating the space for the full spectrum is so important, because if you're only experiencing these high highs and you're not experiencing the low lows, or you're being so protective of yourself and your energy that you're keeping it all in this little controlled bubble, you're missing out on the spectrum. You're missing out on the whole full human experience.
Right. And
you
showing
have
yourself,
to have the whole range.
Right. And showing yourself that like you can survive it.
Yes.
Like you made it through, you made it to the other side. You feel better, stronger, more capable now that you let yourself fall apart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's so
what
good.
a little rebirth. We can have mini rebirths, mini resets.
All the time. Awesome. So I think, you know, we've talked about all the different ways to reset and all the aspects of wellness and all the energies that this time of year brings up. What are some things that like you're calling in for next year?
Yeah. One, hydration. From a wellness perspective, your girl can drink more water. Anytime I get my blood drawn, they're like, you're dehydrated. You need to drink more water. Yeah. So for me, as a human in the wellness space, and also, you know, pushing this goal on others too, is like, let's just stay hydrated. Let's keep our joints lubricated, our muscles nice and flush and ready to go. Let's have our moods be better because we're not grumpy and thirsty. Let's have higher energy, all of those things. But I think, you know, my intentions really going into this year is to create more of like a community space, virtually with our podcast, but also live events around Atlanta. Really connecting with our community members, our friends, our family, trying out different modalities and different things in person, as well as reporting back virtually. All of it kind of building up to a big one. We've got some talks of a nice wellness retreat coming up, so stay tuned for that. But really the community aspect is what I'm looking forward to cultivating the most.
Yeah.
What about you?
I love that. I mean, community is top tier for me too. I think the world is a crazy place, and like building community and having people that see you for who you are and that you can lean on and who can lean on you is, you know, one of the most important things we can do right now with our internet world and social media. It's so easy to have parasocial relationships or feel so isolated. And so even though this podcast is coming to you via some form of the interwebs, we hope to meet you in person and develop real community and relationships IRL.
Totally. And then you get to meet other people that have the same passions, different ideas to share, engaging with each other. I mean, that's how we learn. You and I can only talk to each other for so long before it's like...
It's still really good. We
fun.
Still like each other.
It is. No, of course. But that's why, you know, we bring in subject matter experts. We go out into the community. You know, I'm constantly learning from, you know, strangers that I meet or longtime friends through sharing experiences. So really being able to have a nice balance of all of that.
Well, in the learning and growing part, like that's something, we're both Aquarius suns. If you know anything about astrology, like we love a learning moment.
We do.
And I just think expansion is so important. Like I change my mind all the time about like my belief system and what I'm, you know, rooted in, not because I'm a feather blowing in the wind, but because with new information, I'm able to reintegrate, recalibrate, and be like, that was a great version of me, and now here's an even better one, because I understand so much more about the world or my body or how my brain works, how friendships, relationships, you know, how to make everything better, more fun.
I love that. That's
joyful.
beautiful. Very well said.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great.
Any other final thoughts?
I don't know. I'm excited for this new year.
Me too.
Again, not setting any real resolutions.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple like silly unhinged ones.
Yeah.
There's a bean lady on TikTok. She says 2 cups of beans every day is going to change your whole life. So I will report back if I actually try it. I do love beans, so like it won't be too hard.
That is hilarious. What's
2 cups a day.
What's your favorite type of bean?
Black beans.
Black beans. Okay, that's solid.
Yeah.
That's a good
black
one.
Bean. What about you? What's your favorite bean?
Green beans. Different
Does
kind
that
of bean.
count?
No. But it's
what's your favorite legume?
I really like pinto beans.
Okay.
They're really good. They're a little softer.
Yeah. I'll put black beans in anything.
Black beans are really good. That is a classic.
I mean, I love lentils too. I mean, I could.
Oh
honestly
yeah,
talk about
lentils are
beans and
so
legumes
good.
for much longer than like should be normal. If I'm being honest.
Drop your favorite lentil recipe below.
Please share all your favorite legumes. We're gonna have a poll.
I love that. Oh, well, it was nice. Thank you so much for joining us, sharing
Yes.
space. We'd love to hear about what your thoughts and feedback are and your experience with reset season, or what your word of the year is, or your color of the year, or any unique rituals that you do for New Year's and that kind of thing. We'd love to grow the community, share the ideas. I'd love to learn a new one. Oh yeah, because don't people like eat grapes or something too?
Oh yeah, under a table.
Yeah, I think that's if you want to get married, right?
Oh yeah, no grapes.
I don't know.
No grapes at midnight for me.
Anyways, would love to hear from y'all, and we're really looking forward to sharing more space with you.
And as
soon.
always,
In softness we thrive.